I've looked at some of those punches knowing full well that if that was to connect with my head, I would be deceased. I'd die. I actually don't. I've looked at it and I don't know how I'd survive that.
Oh, 100%. All right, boys, welcome to the pub test. Question number one. I think I know where we're going to go because how could we go any other way? Alex Pereira, is he number one pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC right now?
Well, mate, if you look at it, he's lost one to Izzy.
And
Since he's been?
And he's already beaten Izzy multiple times.
Correct.
So that could cancel it out. Me personally, Pereira for sure is he's a pound for pound for sure. Because goes up a weight division, obviously had multiple wins. I just can't, put it this way, if he beats John Jones, if John Jones actually would fight him, he almost would go down as a GOAT.
Well, he'd have to.
Surely.
He'd have to, because...
Let's not rush too far ahead. He's got Khalil Rountree first, all right? So let's calm down.
He would have to go down
for
for
the big JJ talk.
Wasn't he actually... There was a while ago where he was actually interested in stepping in and going up another weight division to go for his third title, and Dana knocked it back. It just shows you what an animal he is.
Well,
holy.
He's probably the only bloke that can really sort of do that. Unless you're in the lesser weight divisions where it's a little bit easier to step up. I mean, when you're going up in those heavier weight divisions, you're dealing with big boppers.
Yeah.
Get to a point where there's
big boys.
Big boys.
One punch hits.
Yeah.
You hear the punches that miss in those heavier divisions. You hear the like, if you're close enough, it's dangerous.
It's sickening.
You know, you're not going to get picked apart. No one's landing 180 significant strikes in a heavyweight fight.
No.
It's big boys looking to turn your lights out.
Mate, I've looked at some of those punches knowing full well that if that was to connect with my head, I would be deceased. I'd die. I actually don't. I've looked at it and I don't know how I'd survive that. Do you know?
100%. Stipe, the follow-up with Ngannou a few years ago.
Sickening.
Which I still think he hasn't had enough time off. It's only been 3 and a bit years. Let the man rest.
Give him half a decade at least.
But Pereira, I love he'll step up anyone, anytime. He's literally one of those guys. It was McGregor before that, I find. Not to bring it up, but I do love Conor McGregor, but, you know, it's dropped off a bit. But Pereira, he was on a speaking tour here. And they asked him, I think it was less than 2 weeks out, do you want to fight? Yeah. Well, not even Sharma.
Yeah.
And then he's in.
Yeah.
Kicking her head off.
What's incredible about Pereira as well is the fact that, you know, coming across, the obvious game plan would be to take him down. Everyone's like, take him down, you know, he's great stand-up, one of the best stand-up, kickboxing-wise. And so the plan is there. So it's obvious, and yet no one's been able to do it, which is just insane. And also the short amount of time in what he's done. Like, you know, Izzy went on that incredible one. Like, we always talk about Izzy going on that incredible one, and rightly so. He deserves all that praise. But Pereira's run, like, it's one of the greatest of all time, literally of all time.
And it doesn't seem to be slowing.
Mate, how old is he now? Is he about
No, I think he might be the number one. He might be the name now. Everyone looks for that next big name that's going to carry the sport, and I think it can be Pereira if he keeps this up.
I think, I reckon you're dead right. I reckon he is that. Because, I mean, to take him, like, the way that Izzy took him out was spectacular.
Yeah.
And I was so glad for Izzy. That was a great story arc. After so many losses, he's an animal. It's that he licks you with his left, and it's night-night. Like, what he did to Strickland was... You know, Strickland is so technical defensively, and he just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
I think with Pereira, he's the guy that if you puncture him, that's big news. He's the big deal.
What about your thoughts on... So they asked Duplessis after his victory over Izzy whether he would fight Pereira, because Pereira tweeted, basically, I'll come down and I'll fight.
Let's go.
Duplessis was like, there's going to be excuses. You'll say you're drained from weight. However... if you want me to go up and fight him, I would love to see Duplessis versus Pereira. Like, that would be... Look, I don't like fighters going up very often.
He also had to say yes, though. I'm yet to hear someone go, no.
Yeah, all good, mate.
You want to come up? No, you're massive, dude. You're killing people. I'll stay down here.
Yeah.
But, like...
They have to. It's an L for sport.
Yeah. But the fact is, Pereira said, I'll come down.
Yeah.
And Duplessis said, no, you don't need to come down. I'll go up. So he's actually, he could have easily gone, yeah, sweet, come down. I'll get a big payday. And he is so confident in himself. He said, I'll fight you where you're most comfortable, which is crazy. Now, Duplessis, obviously, he has a Strickland fight in South Africa, I think. But I tell you what, down the line, I want to see him defend his title a few times at least, but that would be an absolute showstopper because they've both got the common enemy of obviously Strickland and also Izzy as well.
Yeah.
Mate, that would be a showstopper. That would seriously be incredible.
That is iconic. And you got to think with Duplessis, I mean, he's a brawling South African.
He looks like a rugby union player.
He does. Yeah. He does, mate. Like he's thick. He's a thick boy.
Yeah.
Him going up. And he's so weird and awkward.
So unorthodox.
I found out something in the press conference before the Izzy fight that I didn't know, but now it makes sense. He's got 2 older brothers. And so John Jones has got 2 older brothers that both play in the NFL. I reckon if you've got 2 older brothers, you're battle ready.
100%.
There's no one at your side. You're like, I'm used to getting picked on by bigger units.
Imagine getting picked on.
Fighting at any time. I'm asleep in bed and someone's trying to bash me. I'll fight you at your weight any time.
Imagine getting picked on by 2 older brothers that end up playing in the NFL.
It's sick. Well, imagine getting into a stink with that family.
Oh.
You picked the Jones boys, did you? Fucking get out of
Which
there.
one?
That is insane.
Look, I think it's been solved. Pereira, GOAT.
But
I think, me personally, I know Dana White has come out quite often and like recently, and there's a big meme about it that John Jones is pound for pound.
Yep.
Me personally, I think he's been out of the sport for too long. So at the moment, I know what he did going up.
And there's still Islam. We haven't spoken about Islam. He could be.
Oh, see, Islam for me, he needs more defences against natural.
And he hurt our boy.
Correct.
Well, like I think he needs more defences. Look, put it this way. Alex Volkanovski had more to gain out of that fight than Islam did. You know, he's got fighting a guy that's coming up. Whereas John Jones, he's been inactive. I think Pereira is currently the pound for pound. However, like John Jones, if he becomes active again, then...
and is successful.
Yeah.
But you're dead right. He's doing nothing. He's been doing nothing for a long time.
He won't fly, like, that whole thing is bizarre.
Yeah, what he's doing.
I don't understand what's going on there. Like, John Jones, it's hard to question who he chooses to fight because he's been a legend of the sport and fought everyone.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, Aspinall seems like supposed to be the next guy up. Like,
yeah.
He really does.
Yeah. It's tough.
He fights drug testers. He'll fight anyone at any time, John Jones. That's what I do.
Allegedly, of course.
Allegedly, of course.
Whilst allegedly on drugs.